The poor kid just cleaned the floor. Who would have thought that he would dig out a pile of gold bars? This is a shock to his father. In order to confirm whether the child is a god, the family asks the child to cut firewood again. As a result, as long as the child cuts a piece of wood, money will float in the sky. This is when the family realized that every time the child does a hard work, it can bring wealth to this family. In order to make the child suffer more, they kept the child hidden for 20 years. Until the day after 20 years, our family has become the richest family in the world. Now there is no hardship in the family for him to eat. When the family was at their wits' end, the younger sister proposed to let the young man go to work in the city because he knew that cutting firewood is really bad for his health. He also suggested that the young man should buy a house in the city so that he can make a living every month. The father thought it was a good idea, so he called his assistant. "Mr. Zhang, what can I do for you?" "Buy me a train ticket to Zhongshan. I want my son to work in the city." "Son, this is the last savings of our family. When you enter the city, you have to spend money on everything. Take it, take it." In this way, the family continued to act. The young man was lured to the city to continue to suffer. However, when the young man just left, the family was completely disbanded and no longer pretended to be poor. "Hello, Mr. Zhang." "Mr. Fan, Madame, the private plane has been prepared. Now the young man is gone. They can finally enjoy it. Take this opportunity to inspect the company." At the same time, the young man came to the city. He found a job in the hotel for 3,000 yuan a month. On the first day he went to work, the company's shares increased by 20 times. According to the growth rate of this stock, the grandmother felt sorry for her grandson. At this time, the father said that suffering is not the purpose. It is the most important thing to hone his character. After a few days of training, he handed over the whole company to him. On the first day the young man just went to work, he was taken in by the daughter of the hotel owner. Because they forced the girl to marry the young man of the Qin family, the young man happened to pass by. In order not to be with Mr. Qin, he directly pulled the young man to get the certificate. "Dad, Mom, no matter what, we got the certificate today." "Ridiculous. You don't marry Mr. Qin but marry this Bon Ho Gung? I'll beat you to death." "Dad, I'm mad." "What did you call me?" "Mom, is my dad's ear not easy to use?" The daughter likes this young man, so they set a trial period for the young man. He wants to be the son-in-law of the Yu family. Suffering is the basic thing. This month, whatever they say, the young man will do it. However, the young man grew up in suffering. Faced with the suffering of his father-in-law and mother-in-law, he succeeded in everything. Soon, the profit of the Richest group increased by 80%. The stock price climbed 200 times. They immediately realized that their son must have suffered a lot, so they went to find him immediately. At the same time, the father-in-law and mother-in-law watched the young man suffer no matter what. Without a word of complaint, they all insisted and were ready to accept him as their son-in-law. But at that time, Qin Shao drove Lasaurus Lies to come here. He hated the young man because he robbed his wife, so he asked the young man to wash his car for him. The young man didn't say a word and took advantage of the heavy rain to wash his car. At that time, the girl couldn't stand it anymore, so she rushed into the heavy rain and helped the young man wash his car. Who knew that Qin Shao was deliberately disturbed by his subordinates? He threw dirty things on the car